Hello, everyone. This is Going Solo with Cece, and we're also doing the Author's Corner, Meet the Author, and you're listening to WGSN-DB Going Solo Network right here on GoingSoloMedia.com, and we're really kind of excited about the show today. We've got a lot of things, of course, you know us, a lot of things happening, and what we try to do is really bring you forward so that you can meet some pretty awesome individuals that can help you and inspire you to move forward in your life. And those of you that don't know me, I am Cece Schatz. I'm the doyen of relationship building. And that's exactly what I do. I connect you with awesome individuals that are going to inspire you. It's going to lift you up, really, and take you to the next level of where you want to be. And that's what it is truly all about. And today, we're going to talk about those things. Absolutely. We have a wonderful author on, and she actually wrote this terrific book, Take the First Shot. And what we're going to talk about is the strategies to fire you up and change your life and just really move you and get you going. And this individual, we're going to bring her right up here. Her name is Peggy Crusoe. Thank you so much for joining the show.
Well, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Oh, it's wonderful. Well, you have been an executive and a development coach, and you also have and you're right there from Pennsylvania, so we want to appreciate the fact that you're coming into the studio here with us. But you've been doing this for quite some time, life coaching, and also you have a wonderful podcast here, so we'll put it up. It's the Revolutionize podcast. And you've had about eight businesses in your lifetime, very successful lady in your own right. So tell us a little bit about what has motivated you to write this wonderful book that's inspiring people all over, and what transferred you into the transition into really helping people with creating a really new life for themselves.
Absolutely. A lot of people look and say, okay, so you're an author, you're a coach, you're an anytime entrepreneur, you're very successful. Like my clients a lot of times say, like, well, what do you know? Because of personal life experiences. So it's not just educational process. I had a rough life. You talk about a lot about relationships. I had a lot of bad relationships. I raised my children financially by myself, making minimum wage, and it was very difficult. So it pushed me into, I can sit there and feel sorry for myself, or I can do something about it. I'm huge in goal setting. So I decided to open a restaurant, which I knew nothing about. And the very first thing I did is research why they all fail, because 90% of them fail. And then I became very good at it, and I ended up with 3 restaurants. So that's the entrepreneurial part is why I got into coaching. I'm very good at helping people. I had a rough life. My sister took her life. My dad died not on his death, and it kind of tore my family apart. I lost my life savings. My son had a life-threatening illness, and I was raising him on my own. So I've had it rough, and I worked really hard. So anybody listening out there, you can do it if I can do it. And I've written, this is my 4th book, Cece. My first 3 books are in what we call the Revolutionize series, and I got them trademarked through the United States Patent and Trademark Office. And then when it came time to write this book, I realized I've done hundreds of interviews across the United States. I've done TV, magazines, radio. And one thing I found with media, and I also found with my clients, is everybody wants a quick fix. And you certainly can't solve a major problem in less than a minute. But what I realized is you can take a step in less than a minute. So I have 100 strategies in my book, over 100, that will help you take a step. Sometimes when you put a plan of action out there, people panic because they don't know where to start or how to do it. But if you start them out very small with just little things and they see a difference, they become motivated.
I totally agree with that. I totally get that. I sometimes you become so overwhelmed if you look at the big picture, right? Yeah. But if you divide it into sections, and I'm a big list person, so I make a lot of lists for myself. And so I think if you make a list and you start realizing what exactly it is that you want to achieve, then you break that down into steps. And that's why I like so much your books. I thought it was really a very, it's a logical book, but we need that sometimes. Because sometimes we need to be reminded that sometimes it's the simpler things in life that are really going to get you to the bigger picture. And so it's fabulous. You do a lot of great work. And so I'm really honored to have you on the show today, because I know that we have many people, for instance, as an example, many people coming from relationship loss that are thrown out more into the work field again. Maybe they thought they were going to be retiring, then their finances aren't the way they had expected, or just a change of life, realizing, what I'm doing now isn't really rocking my boat, and I need to do something that's going to give me some passion and stuff like that. So moving and thinking about moving into another career is really daunting when you're coming from a lot of change in your life.
Sure.
And so you've inspired people numerous times to be able to take that step, to be able to move forward and develop, a new career or a new path in their life. So tell us a little bit about that type of journey. If someone wanted to step out and do something a little bit different, is there some little tidbits that you could share with us?
Yeah, you said something very important. You said, making it into small pieces. We call that, chunking it down or doing manageable pieces. So if you're in a career that you have to take, say you have to get a job, and, because a lot of clients will come in and say, well, Peggy, I just can't quit my job. I'm not going to make that kind of money anywhere else. So what I always tell people is, don't forget about multiple sources of income. Don't forget about the little things that you can do on the side to start creating some additional income that will motivate you toward owning your own business someday, or becoming in the corporate arena. For example, when I was making the minimum wage, I opened a notary business, and then I got pretty good at it, and then I decided to become a signing agent through the United States, which means anybody could call me from any state, and I could take these documents to the place in my area and then have the people sign it, and you send them back. So I became a notary and a signing agent. So it was a supplemental income to the position I was presently in. And then it helps give you that sense of, I can do this. I can do something on my own, something bigger. So that's kind of how I started. And I think people forget about making money in other ways other than just switching a job.
Yeah, I so agree with that. And so often we close our minds to opportunities that are available to us, because we are, again, looking at the bigger picture in life, where we want to be. But sometimes the path that we take really kind of moves around a little bit. And so I always tell everyone to, really be open-minded, to grasp a hold of whatever comes across. Never in a million years would I be thinking I would be doing something like this. Being on the radio, I've come from just doing this podcasting into doing this live TV type of broadcast. I've been on our community station. Never, ever did I ever think I was going to do something like that. But when the opportunity arose, instead of second guessing myself, I said, okay, let's try it. What else could happen to you? What's the worst thing that can happen to you? And so don't you think often in our lives, if we look at things that way, like taking that step, it really changes the whole projection of where you thought you were going to be.
You're absolutely right. And a lot of people don't take that step because of fear. They're especially fear of failure. If I didn't have those failures in life, I'd never have reached this goal. Those, what we call failures, they're not failures. They're stepping stones to success. They're only failures if you don't get back up and try again. So a lot of people will try something and then they instantly stop because it didn't work. That means, okay, let's just take another path, another direction. So my advice is, don't give up, and have a plan of action, and have somebody there's always somebody who's done what you want to do. So kind of get in touch with someone who has done what you'd like to do, and they can probably offer some insight as well. Or an executive coach, that's what they do. They help you begin the entrepreneurial, road, so to speak. So there's many resources out there.
So what would you tell someone if they just, if they're in a place in their lives where they want to step forward, but they have no idea what to do? So would you suggest that they look back on their past, maybe write some things down of interest? How would they be able to move forward in able to determine what path to take or where to go?
Well, let me give you a perfect example. I do what we call a discover your skill set exercise.
Okay.
It's something that I made up myself. And you ask a lot of questions. You try to find, there's different categories, and you find different places of interest. The example is I coach a lot of children as well as executives. And I had a little girl that I took under my wing, and she was severely abused. She was bullied in school very much. And I was trying to do things to redirect the negativity. So I did a skill set exercise, and everyone said that they thought that she would want to get involved in this one area. But when I did the skill set exercise, I found that she's very artistic. So I bought her a program on how to become a cartoonist, and she started building a business at 13. So, just figuring out, just because you don't see, you might just say like, well, I'm only good at this. But if you have somebody who can take you a different direction and make you think outside the box, you'd be surprised at what talents you do have.
That is so cool, because you know what, it's funny, because growing up, my mother used to say, if you could just find a job where you could just talk all the time, it would be great. And here I am talking all the time.
For you.
So who knew? So, but that is so true. It's like, really understanding your skill set and what talents you have. And I don't think that as we go through life, we really think about the various different talents we have, and how we can use those to make money or project us into a path and into a career that we might very well be interested in. So that's wonderful advice. Absolutely wonderful. Anything else that you can think of? What brings me to mind is, I'm often asked, just as you are, is what is the biggest blocker, for people to be able to move forward? And of course, we all know that it's fear. So if you were going to give somebody some advice regarding fear, maybe taking that step, what would you suggest? What kind of advice could you give?
Well, understanding what fear is. Fear isn't real. I always say it's false evidence appearing real. It's something you create in your mind. So try to get yourself into a positive energy flow. I believe that in life, part of it is energy. We are made up of energy. I do believe in the law of attraction. I believe that you need to get yourself in a positive energy flow at the beginning of the day. Those things are all vital in eliminating fears. I always talk about, Cece, what we call the mental foundation. So just as a house has a foundation that supports the weight of the house, we have what we call a mental foundation, and it consists of 4 different categories. One is meditation, one is journaling, one is gratitude, and the other is positive affirmations. They're all little things that people think aren't going to matter, but they're the thing that is going to make your mind strong enough to eliminate fears, figure out what your saboteurs are, break habits, all of those things. And so beginning with things like that they're strengthening tools for your mind.
That's great advice. Absolutely wonderful advice. And you're so right, because I think if we can change and shift that mindset,
yes,
we can create so much in our lives. Absolutely. So let me ask you, when you were going to write your book, your first book, what propelled you into writing? Because you truly are a talent. I mean, it is a talent for you to be able to share and write as you do. And so what propelled you into thinking, what, I want to write a book? What made you think of that?
Actually, I started writing because I just wanted to redirect negativity, and I wanted to do something that made me feel good. My first book, which I'm not going to tell you what it was because it was a disaster, but I was so proud of it. And I thought, oh my gosh, I can write a book. And then I started writing in my series as a marketing tool for what I do. So Revolutionize Your Life is to help you just in general. Revolutionize Your Child's Life was it was steps for parents to take to preventative measures for cutting, bullying, divorce, blended families, all kinds of things. And then Revolutionize Your Corporate Life was for the executive side, because I do a lot of executive coaching. I have a retreat center and things like that. So, I basically got into writing for that reason. After that, And I told you in the beginning that when I had all these interviews and I have all these clients, just fix them. And how long is it going to take? And Peggy, give me an example of this really fast. It's like, first of all, you have to get to know somebody before you can just whip out a solution, because you could hurt somebody. One person who was interviewing me on a radio show said, well, Peggy, what would you tell a kid who's being bullied in the cafeteria? What would you tell him? And that's a very difficult thing to put someone on the spot, because you have to get to know the child. You have to know what their strengths and weaknesses are, because I know that there are some kids, if I gave them one thing to do, this little kid would not be able to do it. And this kid could do anything because they're very outgoing. If one's an extrovert, one's an introvert. So it's just things like that made me write the book and try to help people and encourage them to go ahead and take a step. Take a step.
Yeah, that's terrific. I like the idea that you really have opened yourself up to everyone, men, women, different phases in their lives, and then children, as they're growing up, to inspire them to be able to move forward. And often, especially if we're talking about our youth, we don't really give them enough, I think, guidance as they're stepping out. They go through school and everything. And my son is now going through, he'll be a senior next year. So he's thinking more about college and I can see that he's a little perplexed as to what to do, because it's just all open there for him. Right. And so we were talking about it this weekend. And again, the thing is, I said, so often the path that you choose when you're right out of school is going to maybe shift and change, as you continue with your life. So don't get so bogged down, right, with that decision. So this is a long way to get to the question, but my question to you is, don't we sometimes do that in life? Don't we take, and try to make this big, huge decision on what we're going to do, when we could actually take a smaller path and being able to go, just take it, like you said, you take it in smaller chunks, you break it down into smaller arenas for yourself. So as we're thinking about that, what tips could we give our listeners out there to be able to start in their mindset, making that shift from fear into moving forward, but also breaking it down into smaller elements in which to deal with?
Well, the first step is what I previously touched on, is that mental foundation and the calmness. If you can't get this calm, you're never going to get this calm, because whatever's going on out here starts with what's going on in here. So it's definitely your mindset and to get you into a positive mindset. But I'm huge, Cece, on setting goals. Goal setting is huge. So if you don't know how to set goals and reach them, there's so much information out there, or you can hire a coach to help you with that. But goals are very important, because it's a structured, strategic plan of action that helps you reach your desired outcome. So you just need to take your time. And when you look at it on paper, you can, like a lot of people will jump into a business or a career, and they don't even understand what their financial needs are. So you start there. And in goal setting, that's one of the things you work on, is how much money do I need to do that? And that's also going to help you when you discover your skill sets and your talents as to what direction to go. So in other words, let's say you set a high goal for yourself that you can't possibly just dive right into that. There's too many obstacles, right? But you still put that in your goal plan. So you might say, this is a long-term goal. Then you have short-term goals. That is something that is a bridge to get you to the long-term goal. So as you said, it's taking manageable steps. So remember, it's calmness of mind, getting this calm, getting your mind strong so that you can handle things, good and bad, understanding what your saboteurs are, and setting goals.
That's excellent advice. Absolutely excellent. We're going to have to take a quick break. We just do a moment of silence so that when we go into the audio format of our show, they're allowed to put their advertisements and sponsorships and whatnot in the program. So we're just going to take a quick break. So I'm just going to do that for a moment here. So those of you that are listening, you are listening to WGSN-DB Going Solo Network. We are the #1 internet singles talk station, and we're just really happy and very proud of that. You are listening to the Author's Corner, Meet the Author, and also we're combining the show with Going Solo with CC, and also bringing it forward and talking about business too, which is pretty awesome. So we're covering a lot in this program right here on WGSN-DB Going Solo Network. Our website is goingsolomedia.com. We're just going to be quiet for just a moment, and then we'll come right back. Okay, I want to thank you all for waiting for us here. You're listening to WGSN-DB Going Solo Network. I am CC Schatz, the doyenne of relationship building. We are in the Author's Corner, Meet the Author, and I'm very, very proud and pleased today to have a good friend here with me. It's Peggy, and she's been talking a little bit about her book here. We're going to bring it up. Take the First Shot, Strategies to Fire You Up and Change Your Life. She's been she's got a lot of stuff she's been doing. She's been writing books for many years. She helps individuals with the executive and personal coaching. She really has changed many lives. And so we're just very, very pleased to have her. She has a wonderful podcast. It's right here. And make sure that you guys listen to it. It's a revolutionized podcast, and she's been doing it for quite some time. So Peggy, welcome back to the show.
Oh, it's good to be back. This is fun.
It's great having you. Well, tell us a little bit about your podcast and what got you into doing a podcast yourself.
I think it's important to get messages out. And so I will have anybody on my podcast because I believe that what I do in executive and personal development coaching touches every aspect of life. So anybody could talk about any subject and it coincides with coaching. So I love helping people. It's something I enjoy doing. I get to meet a lot of wonderful people by doing it. And I'm somebody that just keeps moving and doing new things, and I love to learn. So
that is so great. Well, you know what I have found in life too, Peggy says you have, is that by helping other people, it really lifts you up personally and moves you forward into your own personal space. And that's always such a wonderful, wonderful gift to be able to give to other people. So we are covering a lot in this broadcast because we're talking about business, we're talking about personal development, and just really inspiration, trying to move forward through fear. So is there any other information you would like to be able to share with our audience today?
Well, one thing I think that a lot of people forget to talk about is the gift of giving. I always encourage that. I am somebody that has given my whole life. Even when I was poor, I've always set money aside to help somebody else and to give. The reason I started writing the books, one of the reasons, was to start a nonprofit so I could start a child's academy and teach success principles, so that if you don't, kind of like an orphanage, like if you don't have a biological parent, that you can be a successful adult. I believe in helping in many, many ways. So I even teach children that. I always teach them the 3 S's: save, spend, and share. And so I teach my grandson that. I teach everybody that. So I think it's something that a lot of people don't talk about, and that you should. I'm sure you're familiar with the word limiting beliefs, where, a lot of people will come to me and they think money is bad, or money is the root of all evil. And it's things that their parents have instilled in them. But I always say, you can't do good without money. You can't give without it. And so it's the way we look at money and success. And I think that giving has to be a huge part of that.
Wow, that's so beautiful. And you're so right, because there's so many elements with giving. It's not just the monetary, but also the time,
Yep.
being creative in your giving, concern, just so much that you can do to change people's lives. And so I totally understand that and believe in that wholeheartedly. And you do it every day. So it's wonderful to be able to bring you forward and share with everyone all of your information. Now, I'd like to, at this time, Peggy, take a moment to be able to share your phone number and also your website here. So we have it as your phone number is 814-335-4314. And then her website is her name, basically. It's P. Caruso, Caruso, at Life Coaching, LIFECOACHING .comcastbiz.net, and that's COMCASTBIZ.net, NET. So I'm really very pleased to be able to share that. And also we have, that is actually your email, isn't it?
It is.
That's your email. So that's your phone number and your email. Now let's do the website, because I think it's important to everyone go and check out our website. It's lifecoachingandbeyond.com, LIFECOACHINGANDBEYOND.com. So I hope you guys will definitely go and check that out, because she's got additional information on there that she can share with you, and you can connect with her personally. Her contact information is right there. You can click on it, go right in, and talk with her personally. So I think that's very important. So thank you so much, Peggy, for being on the show. Is there anything else that we want to cover that we haven't covered? Because you do so much with regards to personal development. You also help with business development. You know, and when I say business development, I also think career, because you're looking for a career path, right? Not just developing a business. So you don't necessarily have to go into business, but maybe to help with some direction of your career. Am I correct?
It is. There's a lot of parents that will even say, well, you know, my child may never want to grow up and own their own business, and that's okay. But you have to get them started on a career path. And it's the same with adults. I mean, some people don't want the headache of owning a business. And trust me, it's not easy. If it was easy, everybody would do it. And so it's something that you really have to think about. But if you just want to excel at your career, there are many ways an executive coach can help you do that.
Now, do you have packages that you, like because what I'm thinking is if someone wants to talk to you about developing a career or developing a path like that, it would take, to me, more than just probably talking to you one time. So do you have like a package or something like that you offer them?
What I do is I don't have any canned things that I do. Everything is tailored to the individual. So someone will reach out to me and I'll give them 30 minutes free. And we talk about what goals that they want to reach. And then I give them a quote and say, here's, you know, the time it's going to take, and here's the cost. And you go from there. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's really important, because you know, the thing is everyone's different. They're at a different place in their life, and so when they're looking to be able to, you know, move forward and in a career and do something maybe different or whatever, it's going to take different parameters for different people for different ways. So I think that's really great to be able to do that. So is there anything new on the horizon for you? Do you have another new book coming out or anything like that?
Not at the moment. I'll always have something new going. But one of the things in this book, Cece, that's different, I forgot to mention in my other books, they were tailored to a specific area. This book, as you know, because you read it, is all areas in life. There's a chapter on relationships, one on parenting, on health, personal development, work-life balance is huge, elderly care. So there's a lot of information in the book that can help in many areas. So it's not just tailored for one specific area.
Yeah, that's good that you did mention that, because that's very important in it. And it's really important to be able to, you know, have a book like this and keep it. Because what I have found is that so often in our lives, as things are shifting and changing, we then want to go back and reread a chapter or two. There's something that's happening within our lives that we want to be able to go back to and be a little bit inspired, maybe create a little direction for ourselves. So your book is that type of book that I think is one that can definitely keep on hand to be able to revert back to. And what I have found, Peggy, and maybe you've found it too in your life, is that when I have inspirational literature like that, when I have something that I'm putting in into my body like a well, when I'm reading those kind of things, it really does shift my life into a more positive direction, doesn't it?
It certainly does. And that's the point of the book, that you can actually work on many areas of your life, and there's small steps. So you can do 10 of them or 20 of them, and you're making a positive change. So there's supposed to be humorous little tips, but then there's a lot of really good information to support why they are so, why they are so important.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. Well, I think it's wonderful having you on the show, and I hope that you'll come back again and talk to us a little bit more about some of the other things that you're doing. I really love the fact that you're helping young people be able to create a career for themselves, to be able to move forward, to inspire our youth is very vital, I think, in our world today. So I'm very pleased with that you're taking it upon yourself to really reach out and help those be able to move forward. So that's absolutely terrific. So this is wonderful. And so again, those that want to reach Peggy, I want to put up her website one more time. It's lifecoachingandbeyond.com. Please reach out to her. And again, her phone number is 813-335-4314. Her email is pcaruso, it's CARUSO @lifecoaching.comcastbiz.net. So you can send her a quick email if you'd like, and I'm sure that you would be there to answer any questions that you have. Is there any final words that you'd like to say with our audience and be able to share with them, Peggy?
I would just like to say that every area of your life is about balance. Take it slow. Don't give up. Certainly reach out and have somebody give you some guidance, some help. There's a lot of free information on the internet. And I think it's really important to have a goal and to help people. So my encouragement is just keep moving.
That's great advice. Absolutely great advice. And again, everyone, her book is Take the First Shot, Strategies to Fire You Up and Change Your Life. And it has just been a delight. You are one of our elite guests, and we want to thank you for supporting our station and helping and doing all that you do for singles. So we do want to reach out and give you a big thanks for that. So we're very appreciative of that. But the thing is these books, your book is so inspirational. It's so helpful to many in, like you said, in many different ways, in many different areas of their life. So I hope that you guys will reach out and purchase the book. Now we can get it where? On Amazon.com, right?
Yes. And I'm not sure how many months yet before it's going to be released in all the bookstores around the world. But right now you can get it at Barnes & Noble or Amazon.
Oh, that's wonderful. And of course, if you have any trouble getting the book, all you have to do is just reach out to her and she'll make sure that you have a particular area. She'll let you know where to get it in your area or send you a link or whatever. But so we want to make sure that you guys get that. And then also, know that you can reach out to her for any coaching that you want or refer her. Please, if you know of someone that's, coming up and struggling, trying to figure out what to do with their lives, refer her. That would be an awesome gift to give someone, is to help them be able to move forward in their lives. So that's terrific. So, and again, she's one of our elites. So her information is right there on our elite page. She's got a page for herself and with all of her links and information. And so all you have to do is just go right on goingsolomedia.com and just choose her name and go for it. You guys can connect with her very easily right there too. So we're trying to make it easy for you. So, but that's great. Well, I want to thank you so much for being on the show. It's been just a joy.
Well, thank you for having me. I really do appreciate it.
Well, you're a lovely lady, and I want to thank you for your time very much. So, well, gosh, this time goes very, very quickly here with WGSN-DB going to, someone's calling us. So anyhow, this is WGSN-DB Going Solo Network. You're listening to the Author's Corner, Meet the Author. I'm Cece Schatz, a doyen of relationship building, and this is goingsolomedia.com. I hope you'll join us right back here, same time, same place next week. Talk to you later. Bye for now.